we got here? All right, so I'm going to enable the chat. What's going on, guys? Ryan McMorris here. Put together uh, you know, a good training for you guys. We want to bring you all together and make sure you guys are duplicating and make sure you guys are set up to win. So let me know if you can hear me in the chat. I see I got Rashonda, Eric, John. I know some other guys are piling in. So just say, hey, what's up in the chat, and we'll get this thing kicked off. Won't hold you guys, too long today, but I want to make sure that you guys are kicking off the new year right. You guys got some crazy momentum, and we want to make sure that you guys can take advantage of it and do some awesome stuff. So let me get that taken care of. All right, good deal. Okay. 1 sec, guys. We'll get this thing kicked off in about 2-3 minutes. Okay. All right, guys, if you can hear me, go ahead and raise your hand real quick or just pop something in the chat. All right, cool. What's up, Keith? What's going on, man?
What's going on? So I got it in the Vision Chaserz email, but cool,
Yeah.
man. She
Good deal,
probably
man.
took out hers or something.
That's all good. That's all good. It's not a big deal. She can hop on the on the other one, but yeah. We'll be going over just some like basic stuff tonight, man. And really just taking some questions. That way we can make sure you guys are on the same page. Make sure that you guys are doing the right daily activities. Going over some social media stuff, real informal. This won't be like this is not going to be like one of my normal Monday night webinars or anything that I do with, the marketing stuff or whatever. This is just real like locker room stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So if you got a question and you want me to talk about something, or if you want to see how I handle something, pop it in the chat. So the chat is open, and we'll rock it out. So the goal here is we want to push, because I see some names on here, and Keith and I have talked. So each one of you on here can push national over the next 30 days. It's not too difficult, but it does take some discipline, and it does take some new things, some new action. So what up, Brooke? So if you got questions, put them in the chat. Make sure you put them in the chat if you got questions. All right, cool. So Keith, what's one thing on the table that you want to see more from your guys, and maybe we can kick it off like that.
Just more exposures in 3 ways. That's what we're talking about that in the chat earlier.
Okay. So we all need to do more exposures in three ways.
Yeah, it's following the system. I know Danielle said she was having issues with basically getting people to watch the information, but she said she was trying to answer questions beforehand. So we was talking about just not trying to answer questions, just following the system. You know, showing the video, asking what they like best, and then getting them on the phone for the three-way.
Right, right. So instead of asking questions, just be the connector.
Right.
Right. Yeah. That's huge. Um, I mean, if you got to keep a rubber band on your hand or something that reminds you to get out of your own way, um, that's one of the biggest money makers. If you think about if the only way you were to make money in this industry were if somebody else made the money, not for you, but think about it like this. Think about it like this. When you go buy a car, does the car salesman do all the paperwork? No. The car salesman, all they do is pretty much like figure out what car you want. They take you on a test drive, right? And then it's completely out of their hands. Why? Because that shit turns over to finance. Okay. Like the car salesman has no control over anything. Um, they don't control your credit. They don't control what banks decide to give you a loan. They don't decide any of that. It's all in finance's hands. So that's the same thing about network marketing. All we do, because you can be the best car salesman ever, doesn't matter. You still got to hand it over to finance. So that's what we do in network marketing is we just connect people to finance. You know what I mean? Like we just connect people to management. We connect them to the finance department and they handle it. No matter if you're bringing in one person a week, a month, or a year, we have to connect people to finance. So one thing that you may want to do, because this is a tight group and you guys got some real good momentum going. Um, I was accountability partners may be something that you guys may want to do. You guys have a tight group, so with the group being tight, I know for sure. Chase is an hour away. Eric just moved about an hour away. Brooke is in like Indiana. So you for the momentum that's going on in Columbus, these are good things. So I look at Eric and I'm like, yo, Eric, you can take a lot of the momentum and take that to Cincinnati. I already know Chase is going to bring a ton of momentum from what you guys have got going on in Columbus with the Vision Chasers, and take that to Cleveland. So having accountability partners could be huge for you guys. Having someone to just say, hey man, did you connect 3 people today? Because these things are easy things, guys. And I hope everybody's taking notes, but this stuff is easy stuff. But what happens is the easy stuff is also easy not to do. Okay? It's easy to call 5 people a day and invite them to a webinar or invite them to a launch call. It's pretty easy to do that, but it's also easy not to do it. You know why? Because, well, all my friends and family are here, right? And they're all gonna go see a movie tonight, and well, I can do it later. Okay, well, it's about being disciplined. I'm not saying don't spend time with your friends and family. I'm just saying you have to be disciplined, and discipline wins in this industry. But Keith is right. Exposures win. If you're not doing 3 ways, you're not gonna have paydays. I can tell you that just straight off. I came from a company where I didn't have anybody to do three-ways, and I was selling and telling and doing everything myself. And when I came to vacation and could take the skill that I had and couple it with some three-way calls of people with leadership, that's why I'm able to bring in, 3 to 5 people a week. That's why I'm able to do some of the things I'm doing in vacation, because I connect with people, but I do I'm heavy on three-way calls. I'm heavy on three-way calls. So make sure to set some goals for yourself for three-way calls, because they're so, so important. If you just get somebody on the phone with them, if I'm on the phone, I'll just say, hold on, I'm gonna, go get so and so, and I've already texted that person to see if they're free. That way it doesn't conflict on schedules or anything like that. But you got to do whatever you can to get people connected. Does that help, man?
Yeah.
What do you think about having what do you think about having accountability partners?
Yeah, I like that. I mean, we was it the other day we wrote down how many we was gonna have join this week, or how many people was gonna bring in.
Okay.
So I wrote that down for everybody, just so we can hold each other accountable for it.
Right.
Or bring in by the 31st. So I was saying I was gonna bring in 5. Mia,
Okay.
Charlotte, Reggie, Rashonda, Atiana, John said was gonna bring in 5. Brendan said gonna bring in 6. Brooke gonna have 4. Destiny gonna have 3, and Mina said she's gonna bring in 3.
All right. Cool. Good deal. Now, of those 3 or 5 or whatever the number is, that's got to break down into what? Three-way calls, right?
Yeah.
Getting people connected, educated, and exposed. Seeing how we can help people, because the whole point is to see how we can make someone's life better. And so we need to be asking those questions too. I mean, how can I make your life better? How can I make your life easier? How can I make it more? How can I make your life simpler?
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed no one's put any questions in the chat. I know there's got to be some questions. Trust me. Trust me, I get it. So I've been there. So if you have questions, guys, you've got me for another 30 minutes. Ask questions. If there's something that you got that you ask me how I handle something or whatever it is. This is locker room stuff right here. So throw it up in the chat. The chat is on. Is there anything else that you got? Like what goals do we have set going into the new year?
Everybody really want to be national or rank up for real. That's from what I'm getting.
All right, cool. So, okay, excellent. So, so what I want you to do, man, and everybody on this call, I want you to set your date right now. Set a date. I want you to write it down on a sheet of paper. I will be national executive in vacation travel by this date. Okay, set that date. Then what I want you to do is I want you to email that date to Keith. Okay, put it in your car, put it on your mirror, put it in your wallet, put it anywhere that you're gonna see it. And then we want to start breaking it down. Okay, we want to really start breaking the daily mode of operation down, so we know exactly what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so I see Rashonda just popped up, national executive by January 12th. Okay, so we can break that down, and that's a couple people a week. Okay, maybe 2 to 3 people a week. Okay, so what action is it going to take to get Rashonda to national executive by January or January 12th?
Mm-hmm.
Is one, getting to your local meeting. Rashonda, is she in Columbus?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So big thing is how many people can you get in your car to your local meeting? Okay, I tell you what, that is going to be the thing to push you over the edge and push you over the top, um, moving people to that meeting. Okay. Now, we've got some trainings that I'll give you guys tonight. I'll give you access to some local team building stuff that that I use on a daily basis, stuff that I do every day uh, to build locally. But these are things that you just use to your advantage too. So when you're meeting people locally, you're not trying to sell, tell, or do anything out of the ordinary. You're just bringing people. You're just bringing people to the opportunity meeting. Okay, hey, I'm going to this thing tonight. I've got some exclusive. I've got 5 seats. If I can get you 2 tickets, would you go? Okay. Now all these things are in the passport to success that we give you guys. All right. So if you haven't gotten the passport to success, make sure you get that. But we've also made a few other changes to our training side as well. That way you guys can get the lingo, everything. There's no doubt, no questions about anything. So I open that up, but I mean, your goal should be, all right, if I'm going to close at, let's just say 10 to 15%, okay, and I got to do 2 to 3 people a week in order to get to national executive by January 12th, okay. 1, I need to make sure I'm talking to qualified people, okay. 2, I need to make sure that that's broken down. So 10% closing is going to mean that I need to be like exposing people, probably like 20 to 25, maybe even 30 people a week, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that means I'm not just sending out my link to 30 people a week. No, that means I know for a fact that 30 people watch this presentation this week. Does that make sense? For a fact. So what you're seeing right here, guys, is our training site got updated again. So we just made this like super even simpler for everybody. So like once you go to your first 7 days, all you do is just watch these videos, and it's day 1. It's got homework and everything. All right. So when you bring in new agents, this is what you should be, taking them to. And this is what you should be plugging into every day. All right. So you guys have this website's Cloud 10 Network. Definitely be plugging into it because it's there to help you. All right. So this is set up day by day. So you know exactly what you should be doing every single day, day in, day out. All right. So I would say, Rashonda, if you're exposing, and you may not even know this many people. That's why you got to be touching your cold market and plugging into some of the things that we're doing on a day-to-day basis, on and offline. Okay, everybody you touch or coming 10 feet with to, you should be inviting to that local meeting. Okay, somehow, got to get people to that local meeting. So that will get you to national executive. If not there, you'll be right on the edge. I can promise you that if you do that, 20 to 30 a week, and setting up good follow-up 3-ways, there's no doubt in my mind. So,
what do you have for Facebook? I remember me and Reggie was talking one day, and he was saying that his friend, he got to get a whole new market.
Okay, so he wants to go full on cold market because he knows that he's just spinning his wheels with the people that he knows.
Pretty much.
Okay, cool. So what I'm doing every day is I'm adding people locally. Okay. I'm going on Facebook and I'm adding these people that are in my city. Okay. Um, and I'm pretty much just picking out people that I want to go through. So I'll send you the video to that. That way you guys can see it. But I'm also hanging out on like local fan pages, finding local people, and I'm really just saying hi. I'm starting a conversation with them based off some things I've seen on their page, and I'm posturing myself well. The one thing I don't want to be doing is like look like if my Facebook profile looks like I'm selling something, people aren't going to be drawn to that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if it looks like I'm just selling something on my Facebook page, then that's going to really um, deter people, especially like warm or cold market people. They're just going to be like, oh, this guy, this girl, they're just selling something. Okay. So I mean, you guys see me, all I do is videos, inspirational videos, um, and videos about, the benefits of like network marketing, or training people in network marketing, because those are the things that people want, especially in your cold market. They want to know that they're working with somebody that's legit. So you may be saying, well, how am I supposed to like train people in network marketing? You got to go for like inspiration. Then you got to be putting out inspirational posts. The things that if you're not reading a book, you got to be reading a book that's positive, inspiring, and just sharing something that you learned in that book for that day. Those are things that, like I remember when I first came into network marketing, I started having some good success. I bought Steve Harvey's book, Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success. Literally, I was highlighting stuff out of that book and like making that my Facebook post or making a video off of that particular highlight, just half a paragraph. All right. I was drawing so much attention. And while you do those things and you're adding new friends, that's when you start to get better interactions. Now, not all the time, it's not going to just, people are going to come out of the blue and just say, hey, here's $100, let me start my travel business. No, you got to reach out to people every day too and say, hey, or if somebody likes your post, I'm always reaching out to somebody and say, hey, thanks for sharing that, thanks for liking that. Guys, those are excellent conversation starters. Any conversation that leads to what do you do is money, because they have to ask you, what do you do? Oh, well, I work in a call center, but, in my free time, I'm building, my wealth, or in my free time, I'm building a $1 million home business or 6-figure home business in my part-time or my spare time. Those are the things that pique someone's interest. Or part-time, I'm a travel agent and I book travel and I get paid to travel part-time. Guys, I'm telling you, it's so much easier to pique people's interest when you're doing this thing part-time. It's much more believable. When you're full-time and I tell somebody what I do full-time, they're way more skeptical about hearing full-time because they automatically think, oh, well, you could do that, but I can't. Okay. Guys, you want to tailor to the masses, tailor to what people are thinking in their mind. People are always diminishing their goals and their dreams. So meet them where they are. All right. Meet them where they are, because you're like, if you're part-time in this deal, you're closer to them than you know. You know what I mean? The more money and the bigger you get in this industry, the further away from the masses you get, but you got to like stay there. Okay. So I'll throw you guys some local Facebook training that I use, but you also want to make sure that, hey, if you went to your page right now and you were just a random person that just found you on Facebook, would you buy from yourself? You know what I mean? Like, or does it look like you're just selling some travel business for $99? Guys, I recruit a lot of freaking people in this deal, and you never ever see me post anything like, hey, I'm looking for 5 people that want to make some more money. A lot of times you may attract the person that finally says I want to pull the trigger, but most people, if you attract them with money, they don't have money, right? And we want to work with people that that either have had a taste of some money before, or we want to start working with some people that are out for time. They want time. So there's ways to manipulate those posts so they're not just like Hail Mary passes. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And when people ask you, because this came up yesterday, when people ask you, do I have to pay anything? What's your typical response to that?
Usually my response to that is, if someone says, well, hey, if do I have to pay anything? I'll question whether I'm on the phone or if I'm talking to the right person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can, in the past, I used to say stuff like, hey, well, if you're going to work, it's kind of crazy, but you're paying to go to work. You know what I mean? You pay for the gas, you pay for food, all this stuff. Sometimes that makes people feel stupid. The one thing you don't want to do is like outsmart somebody. You know what I mean? And not everybody's for this business. Really, it's just about posturing up, making sure that you say, hey, listen, this isn't for everybody. You know what I mean? Honestly, if it's okay if you don't want to invest in yourself. Obviously, these are businesses. You know what I mean? These are businesses. Just like if you opened up a McDonald's, you would have to pay your franchise fee for your McDonald's. That I just ask them, does that make sense? And then I'd throw out some posture and say, listen, honestly, it's probably not for you, but I mean, if it is, what exactly are you looking to gain out of it? And so if I ask that question and I say, what exactly are you looking to gain from this conversation? Why are we even on the phone? Why are we even texting right now? Tell me what you're looking to gain. Now, if they say, I want to get this, I want to get this, I want to get this and this. All right, they give me 3-4 things and they say, I want these 4 things. Well, I'll say, listen, Keith, tell me this. Is it worth watching a 30, 40-minute video? And they say, yeah. And then I'll say, all right, so if I showed you this video, would you watch it? And they say, yeah. All right. And then I'll just ask and I'll say, okay, so I don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste mine. So if everything resonated with you and you watched this video and you said, and after that video, you said, I know I can get my house, my car, my residual income, and my favorite puppy in the world. After watching this video, would you spend $150 on it? And if they say, well, you say, listen, it may not be for you. Okay. If you'll get that vibe. Okay. But if someone says, yeah, all right, so if you watch this video and I show in this video, and after the video, in your mind, you feel like you can get your house, your car, your residual income, and your favorite puppy in the world, and they're like, hell yeah, that's worth it. Is that worth $150 for you? If you can tell their emotion, you can tell where they are, because the last thing you want, man, is to bring in somebody that, is looking for a get rich quick. Okay. The last thing you want is somebody that they could be a cancer. You know what I mean? The last thing you want is that person that can't follow instructions, because you still have to build your business. Okay. Just like me, I still have to build my business. I still got to recruit. So there's things that we put in place, just like this website that you're looking at right now. There's things that we put in place to make sure that people have the resources, the training, and all the support that they need. That way we aren't on the phone, and this goes for everybody, that you're not on the phone with your people or their people all day, and you have a job. These are in place so you can point your finger, because in order to build a team of like 10,000 people, you got to know how to point. Why? Because if you got 10,000 people, the majority of them are going to be monkeys. Okay. So what's the best thing a monkey can do is point. Okay. That's the most duplicatable thing ever. So if one of your team members is, ask questions or about travel agent training, or if they want to, help booking a vacation, well, you see right here, third tab says travel agent training. And we put together some pretty exclusive travel agent training in addition to what vacation has. So if somebody says, hey man, I'm trying to book this cruise, I'll say, have you gone through your travel agent training? And they say, oh, well, no. Then I'll say, make sure you go through that first. Okay. So now, even if I do get on the phone and help him, I just knocked out and what would have been like an hour conversation, maybe to like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same deal, with a lot of these, like we've been, like slaving, but like training and resources tools. If you got questions and you haven't gone through that tab, because there's like questions back there. How do I recruit off Facebook? And then there's like 4 videos. You know what I mean? So it's just one of the biggest things is about taking the time out, because it's worth more to me to back up and back off and take my foot off the pedal maybe for an hour or a day or so than keep my foot on the pedal going the wrong damn direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, those are big things too, man. So to answer your question, going back to, if someone's saying, well, what do I have to pay for my business? My first thought is going to be, well, am I on the phone, or am I talking to the right person here? And I need to go for ammo. I got to get some ammunition. I got to even know why we're on the phone, why we're talking, because that's your leverage.
Mm-hmm.
That's your leverage right there. Anybody else have a question like that? I know Keith, he's on the panel. I know I tried to get AJ on the panel too, and but next time, AJ, she's having some trouble with her phone because she hung up on me yesterday, man. Messed up, dude. Called her, wish her Merry Christmas and Kwanzaa, man. I don't celebrate Kwanzaa. Just in my face. You think, on your behalf, are there some questions that you think some of your guys may have that have maybe asked you that you may answer it a little differently, or anything like that?
The one question with the, when they ask, do I have to pay anything? I just always refer to what's his name? From Ray Higdon. I always go back to what he said. You know what I'm saying? Just curious, why you open to making some extra money right now?
Right.
Just figure out their why and then kind of turn it back around.
Yeah. Let me tell you this. Most people won't have the skill right in the front to talk with the best of them. You know what I mean? That's just something. Trust me. When I 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I was nowhere near where I was right now. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah.
But I can ask questions with the best of them. So when you can ask questions with the best of them, that's when you'll go a really long way. So if you can ask open-ended questions, and anything that stumps you, you answer with a question, and you'll keep them talking more than you're talking. And this will a lot of times allow you enough time, especially if you're on the phone with somebody, to text Eve, Mark, me, and just pop that message in. Hey, can you do a 3-way right now? Okay, because while they're talking, you could be, reaching out to Keith. Hey man, can you do this 3-way real quick? Okay. Or, text me, text Mark, text somebody, text your accountability partner. Okay. Because it's not even always about connecting, upline. one of the biggest things in network marketing is just connecting people to people. They just want to know for some odd reason that you're not the only person that's doing this. You know what I mean? That's why the meetings are so powerful. All right. If you feel someone may be avoiding you that seemed interested, how long before you move on? All right. So what I do is I have a follow-up process that I call 24, 24, 48. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call that person. If we had an appointment, if we had a follow-up, because trust me, this is going to happen no matter who you are and how big you are in your company or whatever. So if we have a follow-up and we miss our follow-up appointment, I'm going to call them back the next day, 24 hours later, and I'm going to say, hey, Keith, hey, man, we had an appointment yesterday at 3 o'clock. Hope everything's okay, man. Didn't hear from you. Give me a shout back when you get this message. Here's my number. Bye. Real simple. Okay. The next day, I'll call them again 24 hours later. Hey, man, hope everything's all right. I never heard from you. Hey, man, just hoping that everything's okay. Nothing's wrong. Hey, listen, man, if this isn't for you, it's okay. Just let me know. Shoot me a text message. Just let me know, hey, man, this isn't for me. And, definitely don't want to waste either our times. And here's my number. Give me a shout. Talk to you soon. All right. Now I'm not going to call them the next day, but 48 hours later. Okay. So I'm going to bang a day. All right. But that next day, I'm going to call and I'm going to say, hey, listen, Keith, I'm going to go ahead and mark you off my list right here. And hey, man, I wish you the best. I'm going to go ahead and assume that this isn't for you, that you're not really open to a side project, even though it wouldn't interfere with what you got going on. But like I said, man, I'm just going to go ahead and mark you off my list. And I wish you the best. God bless, and take care. Bye. Okay. Now, you got to have some posture to do that. Okay. You got to, like, in your mind, believe what you're saying. Okay. Because you can hear it in your voice. The whole point is you're not really going to mark this person off your list. I never mark anybody off my list ever unless they're a jerk. Okay. If someone's nasty to me or someone's a jerk or someone is mean, then yeah, they get marked off the list. I don't want to work with people like that. I don't want people like that on my team. All right. But it's your posture. If you can posture up and leave that voicemail, you'll get some calls back. Okay. The better you get at leaving that voicemail, the more callbacks you'll get, because you won't get most of the time, you're not going to get a call back on the first or the second, but on that third, you'll get some calls back. The biggest thing, okay, is you got to keep rocking. You got to keep moving, because you got to let your marketing, okay, what you're doing on Facebook, what you're doing, taking like, you got to let your marketing feel like they're missing out. So when I post stuff on Facebook, okay, or I'm doing something in particular marketing wise, I have the person that may be ignoring me on my mind. In a sense, I'm talking to that person, but I'm not saying their name. I'm not talking to them directly. So just for instance, Keith asked me a question. How do I answer the question? What do they say? Does it take money to get started? Okay. So you may see me do a video on that tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to Keith. So I'm actually talking to Keith, but nobody knows that. Okay. Because I know that if Keith has that question, then probably thousands of people have that same question. And then all I got to do is answer that question and send people to something that will help them answer that question even better. I'll get the lead, and now I can market to them day in, day out. Okay. So if there's something that you know that you're like, man, I know so-and-so said they're interested, but maybe it's just not their time. You just keep going out marketing. You keep going out taking pictures. You keep going out having fun, you keep going out and showing that people are making money, sharing other people's results are huge. Okay. On your page. That's so big when you can share someone else's results. It doesn't matter. People don't give a shit whether or not you're getting results. They don't give a shit about you anyway. All they care about is them. Okay, we're the most selfish beings on the planet. Okay, I don't care who you are. All you really care about is your results. So, at the end of it, people don't really care about you. But when you can show how much you care, it just puts it all. I mean, people they'll do anything for you. So people got to see, like, if you got that one person in your mind, they're like, man, they'd rock this out, but they're just being, dumb. Then you gotta like speak to them through social media, but without like tagging them and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, what if if you got say you got a, ex-girlfriend or some ex-boyfriend, and then you want to make them jealous, right? What are you going to do? You're going to be posting stuff with your new fling. You're going to be posting stuff how happy you are. You're going to be posting stuff, hey, I'm out at the movie. Just saw Star Wars with my boo. You know what I mean? Okay. So this person didn't want to join your team. Hey, guess what? I'm out at the movies with my team. Vision Chasers, hashtag having fun. We're here Tuesday. We got pizza and fellowship. What are we doing? Yeah. Oh, so-and-so just made it. Got a check. Oh, boom, sharing that. And then they're looking on the outside, right? They're like, damn, I blew them off. And they're still just going. You know how many people blew me off that are now like in my team?
7.
0. Just kidding. There's a bunch. I've never been blown off. Nah, man, you're always gonna get blown off, man. Some people are just some people are mean. Dude, some people just they're just afraid to tell you no, honestly. But you just gotta keep marketing, man, and meeting new people. Because I've had so many people enroll that I showed this to like in February. You know what I mean? And they're coming around now, so, and I get asked, hey man, are you still on vacation? Dude, send me your link. And it's that easy. But it was because of some work I did 8 months ago, spending some time with them then. That's where it pays off. So big thing, Eric, big thing here. Dude, ask yourself this. Would you plant seeds for a whole year and not reap anything from them? Okay. To reap something every day the next year. Okay. So 365 days, you lay one seed a day for 365 days and you get nothing from it. But then guess what? That next year, 365 days in a row, boom, 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 like clockwork. Okay. That's where most people never get. Okay. They're so worried about the result that they see, a lot of people see me and they're like, damn, this kid's running. Like, this kid brings in somebody like all the time. He's like always bringing in people. Half those people are from relationships that I've built over like a year. Now, a year is not a long time. Okay. Because I've really only been running like in network marketing for a year. I've played around in it, for a year and a half or so. But serious, and just started building relationships and giving value and seeing how I could help people. And if somebody didn't want my help right then, I was still meeting new people all the time. And I was just staying in front of them. Like, I've heard so many times from people that have come in and been like, man, Ryan is so persistent. The dude is just like, he's professionally persistent. So I'm never pushy. I never bug anybody, but I'm like always there. And you can't enroll with anybody else because I'm like always like right over there and behind the bushes, ready to pop out. So like if you're doing that every day, Eric, those people that are avoiding you, that are interested, they're gonna come around. They're gonna come around. Good question though, man. Good question. We've got like a little bit over 10 minutes left. So if you got questions, I'm telling you, like that was a good question, Eric. If you got questions, there are no dumb questions. And this is here to help you guys. So definitely make sure you're tuning into this Cloud 10 Network website. I'm actually like filming. I was filming like right before this, doing some more videos. This thing is to help everybody duplicate so your teams continue when you're not there. Okay.
How critical is your
So
Facebook post? How critical is the thing you post on Facebook? How much can
how
that
critical?
affect the business?
How critical are they to my business?
Yeah, how critical could a Facebook post affect your business?
Oh man, Facebook is like, this is how you have to think about Facebook. People are there to hang out, snoop, and creep. Okay, you're there just to like tap somebody on their shoulder. Okay, you're there just to like get somebody's attention. You're there so somebody's subconscious starts to whisper in their ear again about the problems that may be going on in their life or the shit they want to change. Okay. Trust me. No one logs on to Facebook and says, "Oh, dude, I hope I can join a travel business today." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, you gotta like you gotta touch on those things that are keeping people up at night, that got them like, okay, it's 12 o'clock. All right. So if I post something like, man, I'm so glad that, I have to eat lunch on my own terms and I can eat wherever I want today because I don't have to be back at work 12:59 clock back in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's something like that says, thank God for my home business because I can do this, this, and this. And at 12 o'clock or 5 o'clock, man, I'm sitting chilling with my family right now, selfie with my family. 2 years ago, I was sitting in traffic. Okay. See, it's those kind of things every day that will get somebody to be like, send you a message, right? And say, dude, what the hell are you doing? Like, yo, I'm sitting in traffic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's being like smart and being strategic about what's going on around you. Okay. If you touch, and it may take like, I mean, it could be like 3 months. And then that one time this person's been every day at 5 o'clock, they're like, dude, I'm fucking in traffic again. And here's this motherfucker over here just talking about not being in traffic again. So then he's going to finally say, dude, how can I, his subconscious is going to go so nuts that he's going to be like, dude, how can I get away from being in traffic for just another day? All right. Like if, I know a lot of people where I live, they work in plants, dude. They don't see the sun. They don't even see the sun, dude. Like you got to touch on their pain. So like one of the things we're doing right now, I'm targeting third shifters. I'm targeting people that work third shift. So we actually found a hashtag. People are hashtagging third shift life. So I can do some things via Facebook strategically, and I can use the hashtag third shift life, and it'll lead back to what I'm doing. Okay, it's people will see that. It's looking for little things like that, and being very strategic because it's not gonna, one post is not gonna be the thing that like just make or break your business, but it's being consistent and not looking silly. You got to be pulley. You got to pull people in. You can't push people in. Okay. What do you feel the best way to bring your business on Facebook when you're just having a conversation with a person? What do you do? I ask people, what do you do? Or really take some, if you, because I'm always in the about section of somebody's Facebook. So like, if I know what they do, I may say, hey, I see you work for so-and-so water sports. How long have you been working there? And they say, oh, 10 years. I'm like, oh, you really must like it. Okay. So that's a bait question, because some people will be like, no, I fucking hate it. Now they just given you a pain piece to play with, right? Okay. Um, a lot of the times, like I said, most people aren't looking for a business. Most people are maybe a product. So I asked a girl today, I just said, hey, do you travel a lot? And she said, yeah, I do. I said, that's awesome. I get fit travel. I could show you how if you're open to looking at it. And she said, yeah, I'd take a look. See, I'm not trying to sell her anything. I'm just trying to, hey, if I can help her, because she does travel, right? I just want to see, the whole thing is just me getting her in front of the presentation. I don't really care if she joins a business or not. I'm gonna let the presentation do the work. Okay. So, the more, okay. So the more you talk to people, okay, the better you're going to get at understanding when to bring up your business. You got to talk to a lot of people. I remember when I was first getting used to talking to people on Facebook, I would get frustrated sometimes because I was getting like shot down and I was still learning. And it's crazy the transformation that happens if you keep at it every day. It's crazy because one, I don't get frustrated. Two, I get shot down way less, and it's really just the same thing over and over and over. But you got to find your groove. Sometimes you got to go back and reread conversations, and say, because in the heat of the moment, things they're always different. So like sometimes you go back and you reread a conversation, you're like, oh damn, maybe I shouldn't have said that shit. Or you can even ask somebody, say, hey, listen, I was having this conversation. I thought it was going well. Hey, what would you have done differently? Okay. It could be as easy as that. Just reaching out to somebody and asking like differently. Guys, I was just in the car with my mom. We were going to get another iPad or something on Saturday. And I got a call from one of my guys. And my mom was in my passenger seat, and she goes, hey, I would have said that a little differently, okay? Kid you not, Savannah called me maybe 12 hours later and asked me a question, and I literally gave her the answer that my mom gave me, and she ended up enrolling somebody, okay? So I'm always learning. You always got to be, like, open and find ways to, like, better your – and – that's powerful stuff. So don't worry getting shot down or somebody saying no. You just keep getting better and better and better and better. And if you ask questions, then you'll always have ammo and you'll always know a good time to bring up your business. A lot of times I don't bring up my business at least for like 9 messages back and forth. Okay. And a lot of times I never bring up my business if it's someone that I've found locally the first time I'm reaching out. Okay, so I'm just going to chop it up with them for a second. And then maybe the second time I reach out and say hello, then I'll bring something up. Because what I want to do is I want to manipulate Facebook into, if I'm doing my marketing correctly, and I know I've got a good timeline of stuff, that someone to check me out, they're going to really enjoy my page. Okay, they're going to see I'm serious and doing something. So what I want to do is, if I have a conversation, so if I text Keith right now and just say, hey, dude, I saw you like my post earlier. Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, what do you do? Just, I might not even bring up my business. But guess what? Since I connected with Keith and he accepted my message, or we're friends, the Facebook algorithm is now going to serve Keith my post. So I may come back to Keith a week later and be like, hey, what's up, dude? But now chances are he's seen my stuff. He's seen people tagging me, seen some things. Now I've got a little more leverage to play with. And if I bring it up this time, chances are he's got some like nuggets in the back of his mind now. You know what I mean?
What's his vision chaser stuff?
So deep in my brain, man.
That's the main one that get me.
I can do. Let me do. Yo, I'm telling you, like if I hope to God y'all are taking note. Well, this is recorded, but this is stuff that like I mean, I charge like thousands for this shit from like other people. So like get this stuff. If you got to watch this over again, like definitely again, even if you're just like sitting in the shower, bathtub, eating. Yeah, we went to the mall today with my nephew, man, and we got him some like video games and stuff. And one of my boys was like, "Yo, like game," and I used to play video games, man. I used to love me some Madden. Guys, I haven't played a video game in a year. Now, it may not be saying much to you guys, know me like the college me, but it's the things that I've given up that have given me some success in this industry. Like I haven't played video games in over a year. I won't play video games for the entire 2016. But I'll be on point next year. So if anybody want to hit me up with Madden 2017, go ahead and get you a stick and a controller because it's on in 2017. But I've made a choice to not do things that are not empowering to what I want to do this upcoming 12 months. So TV is not on my schedule. Okay. I've traded that for books. I listen to personal development in the shower. Like when I get dressed, I have something on all the time. I don't have any music in my car. It's all personal development. It's all something that's helping me get better in network marketing or as a person, period. I fall asleep to Holton Bug's Cash Cow. All right, those are the things that like y'all don't see that stuff. Nobody sees that stuff. Okay, but those are the things that'll stop. Those things when nobody's looking, when nobody sees you, up at 3 a.m. doing filming and stuff like that. Like just getting better or something. So much. At some point, if you're praying, and I'll end on this. If there's something you want, whatever you think, God, universe, whatever you believe in, if there's something you want, sometimes the universe or whatever is asking you, well, what are you going to give up? What are you going to sacrifice in order to get it? Okay. Sometimes it's more about subtraction than it is addition. Okay. Sometimes it's more about what are you going to sacrifice? I remember when I was first getting into My Lead System Pro, I didn't have the money. So I looked outside, I had an extra car, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get rid of that car. So I went down to the dealership, I sold the car. I put $5,000 in my pocket, and I was like, you know what? It was one of my favorite cars too. I love that little car. I thought to myself, how am I going to get, if I had the money to buy my Corvette cash today, and this is my thought process. If I had the money to buy my Corvette cash today, I wouldn't even drive. I wouldn't even want to. So really, it's just taking up space out there. It's taking up space, and the universe there's a gap filled. It's like a blockage in your heart. All right. So like you got to clear the clutter out to let new in. Okay. So I had to clear out that parking space, and many of you know that I'm about to go get this Porsche Macan Turbo. Okay. It wasn't the Corvette, but now I've cleared out space. So a lot of times, like if you got shit in your house and if you got stuff that like, dude, I wouldn't even have this if I had, if there's stuff that I want and there's stuff that's in here that's keeping me from getting it, get rid of it. It'll change your mindset. Even if you get rid of all your clothes and you got one shirt, one pair of pants and a pair of shoes, you'll work your business on. You know why? Because you know your ass got to get some new clothes. If you went out and sold your car today, had zero transportation, I bet you'd work your business a little differently. You know why? So your hustle light would have to kick on. If you knew every day that your kids wouldn't eat if you didn't enroll somebody, or if you didn't follow this 90-day game plan, I swear to God, I know every one of you would be enrolling people like freaking crazy. Because when it's life or death, or when it means your kids eat or don't eat, you hustle. You make it happen. And it's not just about, well, I'm going to go tone up. It's about hustling when people aren't looking, kind of deal, hustle too. It's about hustling to read. It's about hustling to feed your brain. It's about hustling to get to that meeting. It's about hustling to make sure that you don't go to the meeting alone. It's about hustling to make sure that you're doing three-way calls and doing things the right way. It's about hustling to say, you know what? I see the guy over here. He's doing it right. I'm going to ask him a question. Okay? Instead of being like, well, I'll just keep doing it my way or I'll quit. Because you'll never get what you want that way. So
That's
I hope
true.
that helped.
Yeah, it did, man.
That good stuff.
I just used your line on this what's your name? On this person that hit me on Facebook. You must like what you do.
So
That's crazy.
So I'm gonna run. I hear my little dude calling me. I told him I'd be done at 7. So guys, I hope this helped. Keith, I'll let you have the recorded version of this one, guys. If make sure that you're registered on this website, Cloud 10 Network. When you go, just click on Vacation Members Only. Make sure you click New Members, click here, and everything's right here. So if you want to go through your first 7 days again, make sure you do that. There's a 9-day game plan. Make sure you follow that every single day. That's what I do every day. There's travel agent training and resources for any questions you may have. Here's the training call schedule. And I'm out of here, guys. Hey, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I'm going to go do some stuff because I'm out in Atlanta. I'm just having a blast. So God bless. We'll do this again. Hope to be with some more promotions. And love you guys. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and we'll talk soon, okay?
All right, man.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
Bro.
Bye.